Hello, this is Cauterizer here from USPS4 Hero Side League Lawless. Um, I'm an experienced fire player. I know I'm new, but this is my first video, and I'm gonna give you my rendition and a little few tips and tricks on the AM rotation for fire DPS that maybe not any other video has out there yet. So let's start off with powers. Yes, I know I only have 118 skill points, but honestly, who needs more when you put out damage like this? So down the loadout, we're going to go Immolation, into Flashpoint, into Volcanic Calamity, Fiery Weapon, Inferno. On down on Ignition, Fireball, Absorb Heat, Detonate, Wildfire, Flame Cascade, Mass Detonation. Onto the Iconics. Every DPS should grab Weapons Expert and Tactical Genius. That's just a given. The other two are your preference. I like Nanoweave Armor and Wisdom of Solomon. On the skills, you know, everyone obviously grab your Flight. Now, not a lot of people know this, but I'm using Dual Wield, for example. I haven't spec'd into Weapon Mastery for a reason. If you don't spec into Weapon Mastery, and this is to benefit advanced mechanic DPSers like Mental, Ice, whatever, or Fire if you're running an AM loadout, you get a passive 5% chance to crit and a 25% chance, or bonus, excuse me, to critical magnitude. So you're going to be critting a little bit more often, and you're going to be critting a little bit higher on your powers. And so this is all important. I also recommend that you only go for the might and precision in the weapon that, you know, is your main one, because it is more important to grab your crit damage and your crit magnitudes. Doesn't matter if you're a might DPS, it doesn't matter if you're a weapon mastery DPS. It is better DPS to grab your crits before you can afford your mights and your precisions. Now, there's a reason why I only have this many skill points, and it's to show you guys that, yeah, with a lot of skill points you can do great damage, but you don't need it. I constantly out DPS people that are 111 with 180 skill points all the time. It's not really hard. A lot of it's just game sense and kind of knowing what you're doing. So we're going to go on with the loadout here. We're going to be rocking Inferno, Fiery Weapon, Absorb Heat, Wildfire, Flame Cascade, and Mass Detonation, the big boom booms. Inferno's pretty standard, puts a big fire thing on the ground, lights everything on fire, gives immolation to the tank so reflects damage to your damage meters. Bueno. Fiery Weapon is in my honest opinion, is the very best weapon buff in the game across all powers on all boards. It gives 15% might, crit chance, crit damage, and a fire tick. So that's great. The reason I'm using Absorb Heat is because you need it to activate thermal absorption. Nothing else on fire will activate it. Even though some of the abilities, like i.e. Fire Burst, are worded that way to where it seems like it does, it doesn't. You need to have Absorb Heat if you're running an advanced mechanic loadout on fire. It's just how it is. Wildfire on my loadout is strictly for lighting things on fire. You don't always have Inferno up. Inferno costs a lot of power, it's got a long cooldown, and it's a little buggy, so we gotta wait till Sony fixes that a little bit. Wildfire is a really good ability for lighting groups on fire, costs little power, burning targets heal you a small amount, it's a little bonus defense, if that really matters. Flame Cascade is going to give you your volatility, so that way your mass detonation is going to be hitting a lot harder. Flame Cascade also works off your thermal absorption. It will give you your power back when you use it, so that's very nice. Mass detonation is obviously your main damage ability. Damage increases when you have volatility, which, like I said, is from Flame Cascade. That will give you your volatility. Thermal absorption. When you're attacking targets that are on fire, after you've hit Absorb Heat, you will get thermal absorption. And again, thermal absorption is your power back. Volatility is just your buff to your damage on your mass det and pretty much all your other abilities that you're hitting. Every time new ads come up, you are going to want to be hitting Flame Cascade back on them just because volatility applies to that target. Now, That's going to help your damage get boosted pretty significantly. It's not really a big harm if you don't flame cascade anything, but you really want to get in the habit of doing it. You don't have to do it as often as I'm making it sound, and I'll show you here in a second. So let me explain the advanced mechanic real quick. Now, fire's kind of tricky. A lot of people don't really understand it. I've ran into a lot of people asking me questions like, hey man, how are you getting that to work? I've tried with fire burst, whatever, IE, it didn't work. Well, this is how I do it. So first, let's just light them on fire. Now, all you have to do now is you hit them with absorb heat. Now that blue flame that you see on my character right now, that's the thermal absorption at work. When that's up, that's your power back. When you hit flame cascade, when you hit mass detonation, you will get the power back from thermal absorption. And it's a pretty good self-sustaining power kit. So, standard rotation is lay down Inferno. You would clip it with fiery weapon, although I didn't. Hit absorb heat, jump clip it into flame cascade, and then all you do is spam mass det. Watch the damage hit. Pop. Pop. You know. Like I said, wildfire is really good for lighting new ads on fire. You want to be jump clipping absorb heat because, for example, look at this. This is what happens if you don't jump clip. 400, 500, 1,000, 1,000. So the damage isn't really that great on absorb heat. The whole point you're using it for is that power interaction. So again, you're just going to want to have them on fire. You're going to jump clip it right into flame cascade, right in your mass det, just like that. You can throw a little spice in there with your weapon. Light them on fire again. There you go. Rock out. Just watch damage burn. Now, I have hit 30Ks with this with only 118 skill points. Pretty decent. I only have 7,000 might. Not even, that's right. I have 6,900 might. It was about 7,000. My prec is 2283. It doesn't really matter. I'm not really using my weapon in this loadout except to cheese damage here and there. And here's a little tip for anyone. It doesn't matter if you're a mental DPS or if you're a gadgets. You can always cheese in damage with any power, really. And what I mean by that is you can always squeeze in extra damage by doing little things here and there. And it really will, in the end, make a difference on the damage boards and make a difference to the people you're running with. Little things like that make the difference between good DPSs and great DPSs. For example, okay, you can always do hold triangle like that, because I'm dual wield. I don't have the weapon mastery spec again because, like I said, for AMs you don't spec into it because you get the bonus 5% crit and 25% crit magnitude when you don't have weapon mastery spec. That's because it's to counterbalance the fact that you get passive bonuses to your weapon crits and your weapon crit chance when you have weapon mastery spec. So you can always start off with a little cheese. There you go. Into that, jump clip in the flame cascade and just rock out. All you have to do. We'll do this like 3 or 4 times. Yeah, 4 times. Hold triangle clipping into that and just go right into mass dead. I don't have to reapply thermal absorption via absorb heat. I don't have to reapply volatility via flame cascade. The only time I need to flame cascade again is if new ads join the pack. That's the only time you need to do it. Other than that, you can just sit here doing mass det, and that's going to reapply your volatility, it's going to reapply your thermal absorption, and it's going to keep your crits on coming. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned a few things. Tell me what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace. That's Caught.